You thought you did everything right. Then the refusal letter arrived with no clear reason and no idea what to fix. The worst part? You're scared that reapplying without knowing what went wrong might just lead to another rejection. I'm Evelyn Ackah, a Canadian immigration lawyer with over 25 years of experience helping clients turn denials into approvals. In this video, I'll walk you through the 5 most common reasons Canadian visas get rejected and exactly how to fix them before you apply again, so you can stop guessing. Avoid wasting time and money and give your next application the strongest possible chance of success. Missing or incomplete documents. Let's start with the number one reason Canadian visas are rejected: missing or incomplete documents. This is far more common than you might think. You'd be surprised how many applicants overlook a single form, a bank statement, or even a simple signature. When you're applying to enter Canada, whether it's for a visitor visa, a study permit, or a work permit, the government expects you to provide a full, clear picture of your situation. If anything is missing, it raises a red flag. Let me give you a real-life scenario from my own practice. I once had a client named Evelyn who applied for a study permit. Yes, we have the same name. She was smart and careful, but she forgot to include the letter of acceptance from her Canadian university. She assumed that submitting proof she paid her tuition would be enough. Unfortunately, her application came back refused. Immigration officers aren't mind readers. They won't fill in the gaps for you or ask for missing documents. They'll simply reject the application, and you have to start all over. The best advice I can give you is to use the official document checklist for your specific visa type. Print it, go through it line by line before you submit anything to the government. Have someone else look at it over for you as well, someone who knows Canadian immigration rules like myself. Even one missing bank statement or a photo in the wrong format, if the passport photo is not the right size, your application can get denied. Remember, every single item matters. Now, let's talk about money, a huge factor in Canadian visa applications. Canada wants to make sure you can support yourself while you're here. If you're visiting, they want to see if you can pay for your trip and return home. If you're studying or working, they want to know you won't become a burden on the Canadian system. That's why proof of funds is required for most visa types. Here's where a lot of people get tripped up. It's not just about showing you have money in the bank, it's about showing where that money came from and that it will still be available when you arrive in Canada. For example, I had a client, Aaron, who suddenly deposited a large sum of money into his account right before applying for his visa. Immigration saw the spike in activity in his bank account and needed to know the source. In his case, it was a legitimate gift from his parents, but he didn't include a gift deed or letter explaining this or confirmation from his parents as to why they gave him the money. And his application was rejected for unclear source of funds. How to fix it? If you're providing bank statements, make sure they cover several months, ideally 6 months or more. Show regular activity into your bank account and out, not just at the big deposit at the last minute. And if you get money from someone else, include a letter from the giver explaining why they're gifting you the funds, plus proof of that person's identity and finances. For students, include any official scholarship letters or loan documents, not just personal statements. And don't forget, if your money is held in a joint account, explain your relationship to the other account holder and get their permission in writing to use those funds for your purpose. The next one is the deal breaker for so many applicants, failing to prove strong ties to your home country. Canada wants to know you'll leave after your visa expires. If you can't show strong reasons to return home, like a job to go back to, family that's waiting, property you own, a car you own, or ongoing education or a business you have to run, they may worry you'll stay in Canada illegally after your visa expires. Let's look at Melanie's case. Melanie was a professional from China who wanted to visit Canada for her cousin's wedding. She thought her valid job contract and family back home were enough, but her application was rejected because she didn't include a letter from her employer confirming her return date. The immigration officer had no concrete proof that she'd be going back to assume her position. How to fix it? Provide clear, detailed documents showing your roots back home. If you have a job, submit a letter from your boss stating your position, salary, and approved vacation dates and the date you're returning. If you're a student, provide enrollment letters and proof of upcoming classes. If you own property, attach the deed or lease and don't forget family details. A letter from your spouse or parents can show you have strong reasons to return. The more solid your ties back home, the better your chances. Another big reason for refusal is not clearly explaining why you want to come to Canada. Immigration officers want to see honest, detailed reasons. If your story changes or doesn't make sense, they'll get suspicious. Here's a true story. Raj, who's an IT specialist from India, said he was coming to visit relatives in Canada. But in his letter of invitation, his uncle talked about Raj networking with Canadian tech companies for potential jobs. It made the officer wonder if Raj was really just coming for tourism. That contradiction in his application led to a denial. Your application must tell a clear, consistent story. If you're visiting for tourism, talk specifically about where you'll stay and what you'll see. If you're attending an event, include details, dates, tickets, hotel bookings. If you're visiting family, your invitation letter should match your own reasons, and be honest. If you're thinking of exploring job opportunities, it's better to apply for the right visa as a business visitor from the start. Being vague or saying different things in different documents can tank your case. Immigration violations. Last but definitely not least, your record matters. If you've been refused a visa to Canada or any other country in the past, or if you've overstayed or broken visa rules before, whether in Canada or other countries, Canada Immigration will see that on your file. It doesn't mean you'll always be refused, but it will make your application much harder. Let me tell you about Amanda. She'd been refused a U.S. visa twice for unclear finances and overstayed her visit in Europe once. When she applied for Canadian visitor visa, she didn't mention any of this, thinking they wouldn't find out. Immigration officers have access to international databases, and they saw the refusals right away. Her application was not only denied, but she was also flagged for misrepresentation, a serious issue that can lead to a 5-year ban. You can never apply again for 5 years. So you must be completely honest about your immigration history. If you were refused before, explain what's different this time and provide better documents and tell us what happened. If you overstayed somewhere, take responsibility. Sometimes your situation may have changed. Maybe you have a new job or a stronger financial foundation. Always address the issue directly head on. Trying to hide it will only make things worse. Let's take a breath and recap. Okay, the top 5 reasons Canadian visas get rejected are missing or incomplete documents, unclear proof of funds, weak ties to your home country, vague or contradictory purpose of the visit, and previous refusals or immigration violations. Each of these can be fixed with attention to detail, honesty, and good paperwork. Canadian immigration isn't about trick questions. It's about showing who you are on paper, why you want to visit or move, and that you followed all the rules. If you can prove those things, your chances of success go way up. If you've had a visa refused, don't panic. You're not alone. The most important step is to get a copy of the refusal letter and see exactly why your application was denied. Sometimes you can request notes from immigration, called GCMS notes, to learn even more details. And once you know what went wrong, you can fix it sometimes. If you haven't applied yet, take your time. Make sure every document is there. Every story makes sense and nothing is left to chance. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't hesitate to get help from a professional. Sometimes working with an immigration lawyer isn't just about filling out forms. It's about strategy and understanding how your story fits with Canadian law and how best to present your best case. Thanks for sticking with me through this top 5 reasons Canadian visas get rejected. More importantly, how to fix them. Remember, every case is unique, but the most common pitfalls are totally avoidable if you know what to look for. If you're ready to take the next step and you want to know how to maximize your chances for success for permanent residency, don't miss the next video. Express Entry Canada Explained, step by step, a full 2025 guide. That's where you'll learn exactly how the main Canadian immigration system works, how to boost your score, and the key updates for 2025. It's a must watch if you want to avoid rejection and make Canada your new home. See you over there.